All right, Green, so join us. Okay. All right, so I do crystal beings from Sirius, energies from the sun, and a Venus channeling. I haven't done a Venus thing in like forever. And the sun energy, either crystal beings, so we connect to the crystals in Sedona and kind of see what else comes through for them. I might do another one. We'll see how it goes with their frequency. They haven't been talking too much, but we'll see what comes through on that. So get my energy back. So kind of knocked out for several days. I think it's finally coming back in. Finally, just have to sleep like forever. So yeah, it wasn't an easy trip for sure. It was good. It was not easy. Cats are in the background, rearranging furniture. So going to oops. So yeah, but avatar.com, your private sessions. Got the schedule. We have a shop here. I think I'm still like in I'm like the 27th of November. I'm catching up slowly, but I'm doing the best I can. The webinar this week, social network. Behind the scenes, social network. I don't have that here. That doesn't really matter. Where is it now? There. Social network. So change the timeline there. I don't know what they're doing up back over there. Just crying in the background, moving furniture around. I can't see what they're up to, but some kind of adventure is going on over there. Another thing I didn't go into yesterday. Here we bring it up. I forgot about this. 1 second. Okay, 1 second. So the elongated head beings, I talked about this already, but showing it again just in case those are not aware. Is Peru. I keep getting energy of Peru, so I'm kind of giving it kind of a break, but I might go back into it tomorrow, depending on how I feel. Peru. Of course, you get Peru, and I'm not sure if I'm spelling Peru right, but then you get so elongated head beings, and then you have this. So that's Machu Picchu, right? I forget what the name of it is. Yeah, Machu Picchu. Out in the so it's some Atlantean beings when they died, they created Machu Picchu. You can say before they died, and some of them were elongated head beings. Also, yesterday was the Angkor Wat that was being talked about. And this is probably older than what they say. We'll never really know the whole story of it. But I did see this as very colorful in the past. It's had a lot of energy to it. It's just a different type of place altogether. I mean, look at this stuff. So it just has another light. It's just turned off, just deactivated at this point. So it might look reptilian, but in the higher vibrations, it wasn't. I mean, it had its dark times. It had its light times, its dark times. But we'll probably never know when you speculate. So going into that a little bit. So that was just from yesterday. I didn't have enough energy to show it yesterday. So I'll go back in time a little bit. So, okay. Yeah, this will probably be another short one. Well, not too short, but energy is coming back slightly. Yeah, it's like some zinc that seems to be improving. That's good. So okay, we'll go to crystalline beings from Sirius. From Sirius, for some reason, they're all over the place, but the sun. I'm not sure if the sun gods is the way of looking at it, but something like those lines. Um, yeah, I'm getting there vibe, but either way, and then Venus. So all right, okay, all right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings to you. We are crystalline beings from Sirius. Yes, we are connected to your energy field. Many of us are incarnated through our frequency. It's basically, yes, we can, yes, walk through matter, connect to the higher realms. But one thing we do not learn yet is stress from the physical. We do not, there is stress in the higher dimensions. There is also emotions in the higher dimensions. But your world is like we're being held down onto the ground where we're used to flying and transmuting our frequencies and constantly shifting our appearance. We don't take one appearance to take several. Yes, we can take a humanoid appearance. Yes, we can also appear as a shooting star. And we can also form our energy to even appear as a planet. But we all have to come together for that. Well, we can be seen as a star from a distance. Because our energy is basically like a shooting star. So it's just one of the forms that we choose. All us crystalline beings are different. But as a crystal energy, a physical crystal vibration, it's like our gifts from us to you. But we also learn from you. So your crystals are learning from you. They're learning your personality traits, they're learning your secrets. Not that that's how they learn. It's like having a baby. You have a little baby, the baby's learning from all your stuff, you're getting ready and all, the baby's learning from all. That's what a crystal does. It learns from everything, it absorbs your energy. So it becomes like you. Not that the crystal will turn into you. Of course, you never know. Some crystals might move around, but usually they don't. But they're learning from your frequency what you want them to learn. So they know what you want them to see. But overall, they are a protective energy to elevate your frequency to get you to do what you do. Basically, almost similar to once again, like a baby. A baby, a human child can give you energy. Of course, it can take that energy too. But let's look at the level it can give you energy and help you evolve and have you just feel more like you're alive and you're actually moving, at a higher frequency or just at your highest being. That's what basically a crystal energy is there to do. It's like an energy renewal. So it's like we were born yesterday. Like every day we're born. We're like reborn every single day. We have the frequency of that we just got here. Of course, we're ancient. Yes, we're millions of years old, even older than that. But we'll just leave it at that. So, but we haven't learned everything. Even if you are millions of years old, doesn't mean you know it all. Because you haven't experienced it all. And if you did experience it all, I still don't know it all. It's funny how the beings that have the less incarnation cycles feel like they know everything. I know this, I know that. It's like, yeah, but what have you experienced? Well, yeah, of course, I have an excuse for everything. So a lot of times the crystal energy is here on your planet. Yes, it might be old, but it's another way of looking at it is yes, they're kind of like new souls, you could say, like fractals of another soul, you could say. And it's there to learn from you. It chose you. And that's the other thing. You might feel like you chose that crystal, but actually it chose you. Now, somebody might argue with that, and that's fine. But it's on how you look at your connections. But crystals choose you because they can work. Because basically, if you have the right crystal with it, it'll stay with you forever. And of course, some crystals do need to be lost, given away, whatever it might be. And that's, of course, everything has a purpose. But some crystals need to move on. Well, because they still have your energy and they go and they connect to other beings to shift their frequency, open up portals. Crystals can also open up portals, stargates, and even bring a help you euthanize your energy, meaning so you feel younger. As some of you feel, especially when you're going through a lot of stress. So you're going through all the stress, going through everything. So that's another thing to be aware of. So if you get, now don't look at this as like a bad thing, but if you get a new crystal, don't think you're going to go through a lot more challenges. But sometimes that's the case. It's like, wow, we got all these new crystals, and then your life goes into turmoil. And the crystals are there to help you through it. But don't think that's always going to happen. But sometimes it does. Usually you're not thinking about it when you do it. So you get all these new crystals, like everything's gonna be fine. All of a sudden, you're going through all this stress. It's not there to bring that stress, it's to help you through the stress. I don't believe there's a crystal being that will put you through stress, not that way I can see. You can't really put a curse on a crystal, not successfully, no. One thing also about crystal energy is your physical crystals. They don't mind getting beat up. They don't mind going through what the, candle wax on a crystal. They're not going to, it's okay. If they get bruised up, it's fine. It's part of the battle. Not that, obviously you want to keep them as best you can, but either way. There are also a lot of crystal energies, of course, under the ocean, under the desert. The crystal beings that are under the desert are sometimes the strongest because under the oceans, there's a lot of dense energies there. But under the desert, it's a lot of secrets are there. A lot of secret civilizations are being kept secret. Your Agartha is kept. Basically, your Sahara Desert also has a link to your Agartha. Of course, there's much more to it than that. There's also a lot of feline beings that are living on your planet too that you're not aware of. There's some reptilian beings, but also feline beings that are hidden in pocket dimensions. They're not here to cause you difficulties, no. Well, they have their own difficulties, but they're not here to make things more complicated. But so if you see like there's a reptilian race, like you see on your third eye, it's like you feel like, yeah, there's a reptilian race here, and then there is. Actually, in the United States, in Utah, there's a lot of reptilian races there. Of course, there's all through the United States, but Utah is a strong place for it. And also, there are feline beings that are, a mixed breed. There's some good, there's some difficult, there's some that are very helpful. It's just a civilization like yours. And that's all they want to say about themselves. But as you open up more, your frequencies will start to sail. So crystal energies, now we can tell you kind of like a magic spell. So you can have a crystal that you like, that you feel connected to, and you kind of talk to it. It's like ask them to open up a dimension for you to see what's here. You hold your hands like, okay, what reality is here that you want me to see? It's not really a spell, but it's a little bit of magic. And then what comes to mind? Hopefully you see a fairy realm, because that's okay. If you ever see other realms, well, you need to see what you need to see. What's another practicing of open up your third eye? Blessings. Brings you the consciousness of the sun. We are not much different than your planet Earth. Of course, yes, the sun. Yes, we do have many civilizations on your sun. Yes, there is actually 3 suns in your solar system. And what you see, actually, there's actually 4. In some realities, there's 5. But if you see 3, that's 4. If you see 5, don't be surprised. If you see 5 suns, you're definitely on another timeline. Just for a moment, though, just so you can see it. So, and your Earth is much bigger than it is on your maps. The circumference of it is different. It's basically your planet is a mixture of many other worlds. Yes, many other versions of Earth collide with yours. And that's why you're so diverse. That's why your world is so lost to a certain level. But the idea was for it to be lost this way. There are various different ways. It's a journey. It's an adventure, you can say. Maybe not the most adventurous adventure, but it's an adventure of the soul that, well, in this version of human is, yes, extremely slow at evolving. And you take this on, it's like, see if you can handle it. Yes, without going crazy. So it's like a very slow boat ride. And you don't have to look at to the ends of the earth, but you can't, it tests you on many different levels. Well, because there is a lot of sacred knowledge here. So you come here to figure more about yourself. It's like you have yourself as a soul, but you this world helps open yourself up, opens up wounds that have not been opened up in a long time. You can be at higher frequencies all day long, but it doesn't mean you're fully healed. Some feel like you've been in higher dimensions and healed. You're healed to a certain level, but it's like putting a band-aid on. So you come here to rip the band-aid off and to go more about into yourself. So you're just reaching more into your insecurities. Why do you think so many have violence or violent tendencies? Because they're going into a shadow side of themselves that they don't normally go into. Well, I guess it all depends. Some of them that are used to being like that, but either way, it helps to get it out of their system. Doesn't mean you have to do violent acts. Some do to get it out of their system. Doesn't mean it. Either way, there's a whole other story on that one. But you see the dark tendencies there, and others are avoiding it, and that's okay also. But many of you are finding a neutral level, and some aren't. Many high vibrational beings are not used to a neutral frequency. Well, basically, they can calm down and try to stop healing everybody and see everything that's around them. Sometimes they just want to see what they want to see. So some are not ready for the low energies here. So they keep themselves at a high frequency. They can't handle the low vibrations. So they feel like they do, but they really can't. Without going into too much detail on that, that message isn't for everyone. Someone could probably pick that up. Some high vibrational beings are terrified of the darkness here. So they just want to wish it away, just whisk it away. But some of you are here to open those realms up for people to like kind of, it's like you need to understand what's happening here. We all need to talk to each other and make friends with each other. And other beings just are not having it. And those are usually high vibrational beings. And you just walk away. Yes, the spirit world has a lot to learn from itself also. The spirit world has a great deal of figuring out themselves. They're with you, but they're behind you. It's like you're walking through a cave with a fire, and your spirit team is behind you. It's like they're too scared to do this on their own. Think about it. If they weren't so scared, they'd be incarnate as a friend of yours. But instead, they're a spirit guide. They can't handle all this. It's like your kids. You're taking your spirit team, which actually are your kids, through all this, through this mess, and to get to what is necessary. So many of you wonder why you're here. You're here to keep open, the doors while others are shutting out. Once again, many of high vibration shut the door. Because this world, they feel it's low vibration. The world is wrong on everything. When true, there's a lot of knowledge here. Yes, to heal the shadow of the soul. It doesn't mean you're going to be healed completely, but to know more about yourselves. As you know, you can see the pressure is on. You get sick. You go through this. You see, you get tested. And obviously, many feel like this is your heart growing, your heart center. And that's true, but still test in some form or another. It's on how you look at it. As the sun frequency, the sun stays bright because what is happening on this planet. Yes, there's darkness here, but there's also light. And you're willing to work with each other, even if you don't always feel that way. You challenge each other, but you're still, you still wake up for another day. This world isn't about to shut itself down. If it was, you would see it already. You would already see signs of the world. It's like, you know what, we've had enough. We can't get it straight here. You would already know that. You would just know. But it's not happening. Some want it to end, but they're actually making great progress here. You might not always see the progress, but there is a lot of progress being made here. So you've been wondering what you're here for. You're basically just here for, yes, can't we all just get along? You want everyone to get along. I imagine many of you have that idea, no matter your belief systems. The idea is just, can we all just have conversations no matter what we believe in? And then it's like sitting at an empty table sometimes. That's very frustrating, but you're still there for those that want to have that conversation too, of just Letting bygones be bygones. This is grease you. The energies from Venus. Yes, many of you are from our frequency. Of course, yes, you have frequencies also from Mars, Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, Neptune. Not everybody has all of those, but some of you do. Basically, you get knowledge from all these worlds to understand this one. Of course, not always going to make itself known. Here, basically, Venus beings, yes, look very similar to humans, but also Mercury beings look very similar to humans. Also, some are actually shorter, but just putting that out there. Some are, yes, some of our short people from Mercury, actually. Let that vibration stick. We'll think about it. Neptune beings are sometimes overthink everything, similar to our Arcturian energy. Jupiter beings also do the same thing, but Jupiter beings are sometimes very tall beings. They're usually good at technology, not always good best with people skills. Jupiter beings, some can be similar to like Arcturian frequency to a certain level. They have their own version of it, but some can be very spiritual and maybe overly spiritual sometimes, like too spiritual. They're not all tall, but some of them can be. It's just if you feel a Jupiter frequency for someone, yeah, it's like get ready for some difficulties because they can be kind of harsh also. To a certain level, they have some difficulties. Well, they feel like this world, and they have difficulties dealing with this planet. Let's put it that way, because they're very sensitive. Saturn beings, yes, can be the opposite of a human, meaning that Saturn beings are known to challenge others. Saturn beings are a little bit of everything. They're reptilian, they're Palladian, they're everything. And they don't always feel like they're teachers. Many of them, actually school teachers, university teachers, things like that. Yeah, so go into the cult energies, they're just not always going to make themselves completely clear. Yes, they can be very difficult people. Like you have mother-in-laws or grandmothers that are very difficult. Most likely that's a Saturn frequency. Yeah, sometimes they make the reptilians look like little kids. They challenge people even more. It's like, oh, you did a good job, but you could have did it a little bit better. Venus beings we have similarities to humans. We usually connect to we're more of the, we go for the attractive energies. Basically, we're like a very attractive people or beings. And a lot of that frequency is here on your world. The Venus, Aphrodite is some of that. There's more to it than that, but Venus, we can also have the same problem as yours. We can also take your problem and make it even worse. Like almost like a female, like a purse, and just like, I can't carry enough stuff in this. I need more. Something like that. We can make things a lot more difficult for ourselves. A lot of your supermodels come from Venus also. Some of your cat beings come from us. Some of them are very petite to give you some understanding of our civilization. Why are we connected to you? Well, basically, all these planets around you have some kind of connection to your planet. We are learning from you also. And some of you go to our worlds to relax. You go to even Mars. Some of you go to Mars, and there's versions of Mars that are quite kind, but still, yes, have their problems. It feels like you're on Earth, but yes, Mars has a lot of apocalyptic versions of itself. But you can be on Mars, the world can be on fire, but you'll be doing okay. As long as it doesn't happen to you, you're all right. You're still learning from the Earth process. You're just not on Earth. Well, because everything is more on Mars, everything is more seen. On your world, most things are hidden. So in Mars, you would see aliens, you'll see, creatures and all of that. And yes, they've tried to push the world to its brink. Not always, but a lot of times that's the way it is. And many Martians are here. Many zombie Martians are here also. Their zombie worlds come from Mars also. As for Venus, yes, Venus beings can be too optimistic, too positive, where they become delusional. So, like I said, we're not perfect either. So, we brought our problems here. We're here to solve. Well, we do have a wider frequency overall, but not always. But usually it's a wider frequency. That's why we're here to help balance out the negativity. So you can have some kind of air so you can breathe, even if nothing makes any sense. But basically, the alien beings here are sorting out the world, the planet to keep things going. So you can eventually, you as humans will be able to figure it all out. Obviously, there's a lot to figure out, but many of you will, you come here as an alien being, as a human, but as an alien and human, maybe you go from back and forth from alien to human as you incarnate. Well, it's just because once you incarnate here, it's kind of hard to let it go. It all depends. Yeah, some lifetimes are harder than others, of course. It's part of the contract here. It's just the universe needs you here. Let's put it that way, because you are solving some of the universes. The universe is always going to have problems too. You're just going through a human incarnation. So as you start evolving, you'll see other versions of yourself as an alien energy still going through challenges. But this is like the brave version of yourself here to go through a world that can't remember anything. And your other versions of you are looking at you like, thank you for being there. It's kind of like a kite. Like you're holding the kite, and the other versions of you are on that line going up to the higher frequencies, but you're keeping them grounded into this reality. Blessings.